Coronavirus with George. So, in this show, I'm going to talk about coronavirus and go over some of the numbers. But I want to start with a disclaimer. I'm not an expert. I don't work in the medical field, and so there's no reason why you should listen to me. But if you still want to, then, keep on watching. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy listening to someone who's not an expert. So, to start off, I am on this page here called worldometers.info. If you Google the words coronavirus and worldometers, you'll find this page. So first off, we have the total number of cases in the world, 622,000. Total deaths is about 29,000. And recovered is about 137,000. Then if you scroll down, there's a farther breakdown. So here's all the recovered, here's all the dead, total closed cases, and total active cases. So these are people who are still sick with the virus right now. Two nice little graphs. And this graph is very useful. Let's take a look at something here. So we see on March 21st, that was 6 days ago, that the virus was at 304,000. Maybe it was 7 days ago. What's today? Apple, show me the date. March 28th. So last week, 7 days ago, it was 304,000. So 305,000. And then if we go to March 27th, we hit 596. So just about 600,000. So we went from about 300,000 to about 600,000 in 6 days. So if you come up here, that means that another 6 days you could expect this number might be doubled. So today is Saturday, March 28th. So maybe by April 3rd, you might expect to see 1.2 million cases in the world. And so that means we'll probably pass the million marker somewhere around April 1st or April 2nd, if you're looking to get an idea of those. And you could do the same with the deaths, right? You could look at, let's try and find a number that doubles. Here's 10,000 exactly on March 19th. And there's a little more than double on March 25th. So in 6 days, it's slightly more than doubled, so about the same rate. So this number will probably be about 58,000 in 6 days, we would expect, right? So maybe hit 60,000 by, Friday of next week, Friday or Saturday. So let's say Saturday, it should be 60,000, right? Okay, I'm a numbers guy. I'm sorry if I sound callous about these things, but I just, want to go over the numbers. So here, if we scroll down, we have it by country. U.S. is now number 1. Italy's number 2. China's number 3. Won't be for long. Spain will overtake them in a couple of days. But for now, they're number 3. Italy, you'll notice in the new cases here, this is probably the most important column, this yellow one. So Italy reports all their cases at once during the day, so they all come in at one time. Usually, I'm in the Eastern time zone, so about around 2 o'clock Eastern time, you'll see all the Italy numbers come in, and it looks like France has been doing the same thing. So that's why those two aren't reported. Italy has actually slowed down. They peaked around, I think it was like 10,000 cases a day. Now you're seeing about 5,000 cases a day. Not good, but it means it's getting lower. And so, even though the number of total cases is still going up, and the active cases is probably still going up, because they haven't recovered that many people yet. Let's see, recovered is only 10,000. So even though they're adding cases, they're adding them at a slower rate, which means they're kind of over that peak. So for them, probably in their hospitals, things will be at their worst now and for the next couple of weeks. But the number of new people coming in will be going down each day, and so you can kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel for them. Yesterday, I think this number was about 5,000, so you could expect something like 5,000 today. Today's March 28th, like I said. So in an hour or two, you can take a look and see if that was the case. 5,000 or 6,000, I would expect here. I haven't been following France as closely, but I'm guessing this number will be around 3,000. But don't quote me on that. Our number goes up throughout the day. So this number here, you might expect something like 20,000 today. We had 17. Let's see what we had yesterday. 18,600 yesterday. So it's hard to say. It seems like I'll talk about the U.S. in a minute because I want to show you another a spreadsheet that I have. But something you notice about China, right, if you've been looking at these numbers, is new cases 54. That's extremely low considering that 84,000 people had the virus. China basically squashed it. They had a nationwide lockdown for over a month and essentially stopped the spread. And lately they've been saying that these new numbers are just people coming into the country, travelers returning to the country. But some people worry that there may be another flare-up now that China's been easing up on these restrictions and letting people go out in public. Spain, like I mentioned, has a strong showing lately. They will probably be in third place soon if their numbers don't slow down. I don't know what day they started their lockdown, but I think it was more recent, so I'm fairly sure they're going to pass China probably by, what's today, Saturday, so let's say by Tuesday or Wednesday, so by April 1st for sure. Spain will be a number 3 spot. Let's see, what else is interesting here? Iran's been kind of funny because Iran had a big infection early on, and then it sort of slowed where it didn't seem to go up very fast, like 2,000 a day kind of hanging around. Now it seems to be picking up again. But their dead numbers are higher. Maybe that's because the infections were earlier. You notice our deaths is only 1,700 for the 105,000 patients we have, which seems low. It seems like you're thinking, okay, our healthcare system is doing better than, say, Italy, who has much higher numbers for less cases, right? They have almost as many cases of us, but they have, 5 or 6 times as many dead. However, you notice Italy has more recovered. So, I think part of this is that our infections are newer. We haven't had as many yet. So you may see this number go up. And our cases have been doubling every 3 to 4 days. It's kind of slowing a little bit. I'll come back to that. The deaths are kind of going the same way. So today you'll probably see this number. New deaths will be like 500. Tomorrow it might be 600 and so on. So we might double this to 3,400 by, let's say you might expect by, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So by Tuesday or Wednesday, you might expect to see 3,400, double that number. Okay, one more I wanted to point out. Yesterday, Turkey had a high number compared to the number of cases they have, right? So they were at like 3,500, and they had 2,000 new cases, which is a big percentage, right? It's more than a 50% increase. So we want to watch Turkey today when they report their numbers. I suspect they might move up and pass some of these countries. And I'll mention South Korea real quickly. They're almost in the same boat as China as far as having a lot of cases early on, but keeping the new cases low by testing and hunting down those people and saying, hey, you got the virus, stop spreading it, and having those people go into isolation. So South Korea did a good job of testing lots and lots of people, but still not completely, right? You still see new cases every day, and actually still a few more than China. But anyway, I want to show you the spreadsheet. I don't have the spreadsheet with me. All right, maybe on the next show I will show you my spreadsheet of American infections because I've been tracking them every day. And what I saw is that early on we had about a 33% increase day over day. And so that's, doubling actually more than once every 3 days, right? Because it's compounded, so you don't add the percentages together. Anyway, it's slowed down recently. Yesterday, the new numbers, and you could do the math yourself right here if you want. So what you do is subtract the 18,691 from this number to figure out how many they started with the day before. And then you do 18,691 divided by, what would that be, 85,000 and something. And what you get is about 21%. That was the increase for yesterday. So it seems like it's slowing from 33% down to 21%. So maybe we've peaked too. Although one thing to keep in mind with the U.S. is that ours is kind of regional. We're a big country, and each state is kind of locked down and then, or decided not to lock down in their own time. So we may see the numbers slow down and then pick up again when there's an outbreak in a different city. I think Texas, for example, I don't think has locked down yet. I could be wrong. But cities like New York and Los Angeles are largely shut down. And so that decrease from 33% new cases day over day to 21% may be because of those lockdowns. My state, New Jersey, we're in a lockdown or a shelter in place, whatever they call it. We can still go to parks in some places. In my area, you can. But large schools are closed, things like that. And so you expect that has helped to slow the spread. All right, so I'm going to stop this video here. Tomorrow I'm going to try and grab that spreadsheet and put it onto the computer that I'm using here. And I could show you guys the number of cases day over day in the United States for the past month, and we'll talk about that. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Again, disclaimer, I'm just some guy looking at numbers, so, if I'm wrong, Don't quote me, but if my predictions come out right. Oh, here's one more prediction for you. Everybody keeps saying, when are we going to hit 1 million? So in the U.S., my prediction, early April, we'll hit 1 million cases, unless our social distancing actually really starts to take effect. But it seems like, well, anyway, let's say April 5th to the 10th, somewhere in that range, you would expect us to hit 1 million if we don't slow things down with this social distancing. But tomorrow I'm going to go over that. I'm going to show you my spreadsheet on the U.S., and I'll make it another video out of that, and we'll talk about the numbers in America. All right, that's it. Thanks. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. That's it. Bye.